Sure, I'll be glad to do that as a...
So tell me about the evolution of RCM.
Okay. Just in brief, I know a lot of people have an interest in how this whole RCM thing came to pass. A lot of the people looking at this probably know how it came to pass, but I was fortunate enough to be present when it happened. So let me just give you the story. I think most of you know it came from commercial aviation. It was the result of a maintenance program that was necessary for the 747-100 airplane in its type certification process with the FAA. It was developed originally by a gentleman by the name of Tom Madison, who at the time was the Vice President of Maintenance Planning for United Airlines. And what he developed, which we now today call RCM, was obviously a success. It's worked for the aircraft industry for years. I had the good fortune to meet Tom in the late 70s, early 80s. We became acquainted, interested in this topic, and when he retired from United, he and I went out and took RCM for the first time to the nuclear power industry back in the early 80s, and basically it went from there. Tom is now retired long ago. I'm on the verge of doing that, and we have a whole generation of people at this conference who are coming into the field and picking up where we have tread for the last roughly 25 or 30 years, and I think it's wonderful that that's happening. I encourage it. There's a gentleman standing off to my left that's one of those people that's helping to do that, Doug Plucknett. Did I pronounce that right, Doug? And he is one of a handful of people that are continuing where Tom left off and where I left off. And by the way, where a gentleman by the name of John Mowbray left off, who passed away about 5 or 6 years ago, he was the other pioneer with Tom Madison that took RCM to the industrial world through a slightly different path, but with the same philosophical background. And John did a fantastic job. He was well known, well liked by the community, and we lost a real creative guy when he suddenly passed away. So I tip my hat to him, and I'm delighted that I'm here with all these people who enjoy this kind of stuff like I do. It's my golf. I'm not a golfer, so it's my golf, and I think a lot of other people feel maybe it's not their golf, but they sure enjoy it because they pursue it with a vengeance. And I'm happy to see that they do that. So that's where it came from. None of us invented it that are still alive, but we're the remnants of activity that went on back in the 60s with United Airlines and a fellow by the name of Tom Madison. Thank you.
Did you talk about